trucking as I did last week, sorry.
Last year. Well, welcome to episode 2 of the Trucking Truth. This episode, as you can see from the top, is the industry for new passers. So what we're going to talk about today is basically how you get into the jobs, and is it hard? Is it easy? Basically, as a new pass, what's it like to get a job? So we're going to go from there. But we've got some exciting news. Labsy, if you'd like to announce it and go over that.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously this is only our second episode. I know. But we have already received a bit of a partnership with a company called Elite Driver Jobs, which is absolutely awesome. And I can only say thank you to them 100%. Absolutely awesome that you're putting a bit of trust in us. And we hope that we can grow together with the company and the podcast at the same time, kind of bounce off each other. But it also links in very, very well to this episode, which is the industry for a new pass. So if you are a new pass driver and you are maybe struggling to find a job, definitely head over to Elite Driver Jobs. And if you are in the podcast Elite Driver, please feel free to put a comment in there and people can go drop you a follow. But yeah, go over to Elite Driver Jobs, sign up to their job board. The more of you that sign up, the more jobs that come available to them and to you, of course. So yeah, just wanted to announce that we are now powered by a company called Elite Driver Jobs, and it's only onwards and upwards from now.
Spot on, you smashed that.
There we go.
So yeah, how's your week been?
My week's been good, mate. It's been really good. So I'm down south. That is what I will say. At the bottom of the country at the minute. Got a delivery for 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then after that, I'm not too sure what I'm doing. But it's been a nice, steady away weekend. I love working weekends, mate. It's just a different environment, mate. The roads are dead. You can park wherever you want. I love working the weekends. How's yours been, mate?
Not too shabby, to be fair. I had a class 2 again pretty much all week. I think I'm in a class 1 once this week.
Right.
So I'm hoping next week I'll be class 1 pretty much all week. But,
yeah, get back in the big boys.
Yeah, not too bad. It's like driving a little go-kart around everywhere. So, I don't mind it too much. Yeah, I can't complain. I'm getting a job. I mean, getting paid for it. So
that's the thing, mate. So I suppose let's crack on with the title. Maybe you tell us a little bit about what this title means to you, from your point of view.
Well, I think there is a massive negativity around getting a job as a new pass. I think that's one of the main things in the industry. And I think it's nowhere near as hard as people make out that it is. I think it's a lot easier to get a job as a new pass. I think some people put it down to, the lack of experience being horrific to get a job. To be fair, most of the questions I get in my DMs are, I've just passed, how do you recommend getting a job? Or do you reckon I will get a job?
Yeah.
So I think it's a big thing in the industry that's not spoken about as much, because I think so many people are put off by the word new driver or new pass, and they're scared they're going to go into an industry or go into a place and just never get a job. But everyone starts from somewhere. So I think it's good to talk about it, though. I think speaking about it and getting the word out there to all the new drivers is going to give them more confidence to go out there and apply for jobs, or even join like an agency, or even have the confidence to walk in somewhere. Because that's the biggest thing for me, is the walking in. Just walk in, go into a haulage company and just say, I'm a new pass driver. I'm so keen to get a job, and I really want to be a lorry driver. And that just, I think, is probably the best thing you can do. But what's it mean to you?
Oh, definitely, mate. I just want to say a quick evening to HGV1 who popped in, and also hello, Elite Driver Jobs. Welcome on in, both of you. But yeah, to me, mate, the industry for a new pass, I think it can be quite daunting. There's first things first. I've had a few people message me saying how they kind of have this negative response from drivers before they even got their first job, and they're already kind of thinking about, is this what I want to do? Which needs to change, for one. And then secondly, is just getting that first job in the first place, which is extremely difficult unless you've signed up to Elite Driver Jobs. If you signed up to Elite Driver Jobs, it's pretty easy. But, other than that, it's quite a difficult road. But, yeah, there's that stigma around being a new driver, automatically assuming that you're rubbish at the job. Whereas I think there is value to newer and younger drivers because, one, when you're in the industry, we're still going to be energetic and excited to get in the role, and we probably care a lot more about the impressions that we're making on customers and impressions that we're making on the company. So I think it's really important to constantly have like a new cycle of drivers entering the industry without having this negative kind of apocalypse attacking them.
Yeah,
you know?
100%. I think that's the main problem, is it?
Yeah, that's probably my point of view on it, mate.
100%. I think that's the main point of it, isn't it? Really, the negativity, and I think if we can stop that and somehow just make people go in with confidence, so many drivers would be a lot more. I'm having so many comments in here. Sorry, guys, I will read them out in a bit. I'm just trying to get into the podcast before I start reading loads of comments out.
Read them out whenever you want, mate. We go with the flow of the pod. You know what I mean? Just read them out whenever you want. If you've got questions, anything like that, go for it.
Where are we here?
And I do just want to say, I'm not normally a sparkling water drinker. I accidentally picked these up.
No, you shouldn't even be drinking that.
I know, mate. I know. I accidentally picked these up, and I've got a 24 pack of them. So it's like I have to drink them at this point. I can't just put them in the bin.
Big O said he's just passed. He keeps getting old. Is that sweats being really negative? Yeah, you are 100% going to have that. The negativity is a massive thing for us, which is what we're trying to spread the word out there and be. What are you laughing at?
Because Big O is my mate, just taking the mic.
No, it's true though. All these people.
It is true. Yeah, what you're saying is true. So it's still valuable.
All these people are getting put off by the negativity in the industry, which is why the whole point of us is to push out that positivity, is to make the place a lot more positive because it's so negative at this moment in time. Yeah,
exactly. There's far too much of it, and it goes back to the pod that we did last week, which literally was, "Hi, Big O, welcome back, mate." It literally is. Last week we did about negativity in the industry, and again, I suppose it's always going to go back to that, isn't it? Like, especially with the new past drivers, it's always going to go back to the fact that it's a bit of a rough ride when you're trying to find that first job, and you do get that first job. You're all excited to do it. You get in the driver's seat, and the guy who's training you says, "I don't know what you're doing in this industry, mate." You know, it's one of them. It's a tough road getting a job, and then once you've got the job, you're still getting put down.
Yeah, 100%. It gets easier though. So I suppose the more you get into it, the easier it gets. But obviously, once again, that's when you feel better though because you've got more experience. I think as you gain more confidence, if you go in with confidence, and when I first passed, I had a very negative experience for the first, I'd say, probably few months. It was quite a negative thing for me to be in the industry, and it almost put me off it completely because it was just so negative.
Well, it can.
Like when people are like, "Oh, you get in a truck," and they're like, "Oh, he's a new pass." I remember going through a gate and they stopped me and was like, "You're going to hit that." I was like, "I'm not going to hit that," and I never hit it at all. But it was just that negative thing of constantly putting doubt in your brain of you're not good enough for this job because you've just passed your test. Yeah. I mean, you passed your test. You're at the same level as everyone else. Other people have got more experience. You've still got a license. So
still got the same license, yeah.
What I don't understand why people put it down like it's so negative. You haven't got to be a driver for 20 years to be good at driving. You're either good at it or you're not. Nothing's going to change that.
Nathan loves his job. He loves being behind the wheel. You take it as you want it. Well, yeah, exactly. You take it as you take the opportunities. And I think the job is it's what you make it. You know, at the end of the day, the job is what you make it. If you want it to be negative and you want to be moaning all day, then that's what the job's going to be. But if you get in the cab and you have a bit of a smile on your face and you look forward to what you're doing and you enjoy it, then that's what the job's going to be. It's as simple as that. You make it what you want it. I've got Gar on the high abs here. He says, "Great this, lads. Fantastic idea to help new drivers out. My first driving role," oh, sorry, it's gone, "was quite rough. Nearly gave up after 6 months, but I stuck it out. Went around all different employers." Yeah, Gary, mate. Yeah, nice one, mate. That's exactly what it's like.
Do you know what I think? For advice for a new passer, genuinely, I think you need to try out every single what you call it, genre of lorry driving, about industry. There's so many different industries in lorry driving. You don't just get in and you drive a truck and that's it. There's so many different things you can do. There's like pallet work, like general haulage. There's I know carpets, there's recovery, there's loads of like heavy haulage. There's loads of different things you can do, and I think it's that finding what you're happy with and what fits your life.
Exactly, mate.
I saw a thing the other day. There's a bloke who I think he just left Warburton's. It came up on my TikTok, and he'd been driving there for 11 years, and they were like, "Oh, why are you leaving if you're happy there?" Because he was saying to people, "It's a really good job, really good place to get into, and whatever." And he put in the comments, it wasn't suiting my life anymore. And I think that's, out of the different industries, you got to find one that suits you and suits your life.
Yeah. Awesome.
We've got a message from Owen. Can you get the ADR qualification straight away?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can you? There's no like.
No, there's no restriction on how long until you get the ADR restriction. I don't think license. I don't think, or the ticket, I suppose. But I've heard from a lot of people, and I don't know if there's anyone in here that do have their ADR, but it's not actually that worth it unless you can find a company that's like very specialist in ADR work. It's not actually that worth it to get it off your own back. I've heard a lot of people say that it's good to get if the company are going to fund it for you. You might as well. It's a free ticket. But from what I've heard from people, doing your ADR off your own back is actually not that worth it.
I know Luke. I don't know if Luke's in here tonight. Luke, if you're in here, I know he's got his ADR, so he'd probably.
All right, we'll talk to Luke about it as well. I've got a few more comments on this end. We've got Miss Country Trucker. Nice to hear a bit of positivity about the industry. That's what we're trying to do. That's exactly what we're trying to do here at Trucking Truth. And I suppose probably a good moment just to kind of introduce ourselves to everybody that has hopped in who hasn't been here before. If you are joining us on the live today, please be spamming the likes on the TikTok live. Let's get as many people in here as we can. The more times you like, the more pages this gets pushed out to, the more positivity in the industry we're then able to spread. If you aren't following me and you aren't following Bobby, please follow me and go over to Bobby and follow him as well. Trying to grow this, again, more positivity in the industry. Absolutely, why not? And we are also very, very grateful to currently be sponsored and powered by Elite Driver Jobs, who are going to be helping improve the quality of this show, I suppose you call it. And they're also helping drivers like yourself find that next opportunity for them to jump onto. So if you're not already, go follow Elite Driver Jobs on TikTok, go into their bio and sign up to their driver board. Whether you're looking for a job or you're not looking for a job currently, they might notify you of an opportunity that's in your area, and you might be feeling up for it. Who knows? So yeah, go check them out as well. And thank you for sponsoring.
I have a link in my bio to Elite Driver Jobs. Give that a click. It'll take you straight to their.
Go that one as well.
Yeah, give that a bash. What was I going to say here?
Thank you for the follows, guys, as well.
Sam said to Owen, he's ADR trained. Don't pay for it yourself, though, as it's not worth it.
That's what I thought, yeah. It was nice to be at Truck Fest, as it was very positive. Yeah, exactly. Was it not positive last year, Country Trucker? She's saying there rather than the last year. But yeah, I think it's just nice to spread a bit of positivity in this industry. And if we do have any new passes that are currently watching, please feel free to be asking questions. And if we do have people that have 40, 50 years experience in the industry, please also feel free to be putting any advice that you've got in the comments, and we'll share that.
I got in my comments the other day that apparently what we're doing isn't a good thing. That was in my comments the other day.
Well, I thought you meant on this then. I was like, what?
No, not in my comments now. As in before, one of my videos, we had someone who was saying that what we're doing is a negative thing. It's pointless to do.
Right. Okay. Well, that's an interesting comment.
I got a question from Michael here. Any tips for someone who is about to sit a practical test?
Again, for me, it just goes down to that. You're taking your test, mate. Just take your time with absolutely everything. You know, that there shouldn't be one thing that you're rushing on. You know, coming up to the traffic lights, even if it's green, start slowing down, mate. Prepare to stop. Just take your time on everything you do. Check your mirrors, way over the top with it. Make sure you're driving safe. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say other than just take your time and give it your best shot, mate. If you pass, you pass. If you fail, give it another shot. You'll pass eventually.
At the end of the day, you can drive a car. You know, just take your time. You know the road. Just that's all you got to do. Yeah,
got a few more tips on my end. I've got mirrors. There you go. And then Ginger Dolls come out with an absolutely brilliant tip for you. Remember to split lanes when you feel like you need to.
Have I got my brother in here tonight? Is he the one smashing the likes again?
Is your brother smashing out the likes?
I hope so, Harry. If that is you, Harry, I can't remember which. It's like
Well, Apple user did join
7666.
me when before you went live. I had Apple your user over here, and then he dipped as soon as you went live and left me.
Yeah, it must be me. It must be my brother.
Yeah, guys, if you are in here, let's bang some likes out, get some more truckers in here. We do have a special guest coming on at 7:30, but we'll reveal a little bit more about that close to the time.
Yeah, we'll do that about 5 minutes. What now?
Yeah.
He's got 10 minutes. 10 minutes till he's on.
Yeah,
We also
exactly.
already talked with some other big guests, which hopefully will be on soon. So that's another little thing out there.
Yeah, there's a guy coming on who I think, well, hopefully he's coming on, should we say. It is looking positive that I think everybody in the trucking industry who uses social media will know. That's all we'll say for now.
100%. I don't know who's in here now. Do you know, I don't even know how you can tell who's in here. I don't know who's in here right now.
I don't even know really either, to be fair, mate. I don't know. But yeah.
Any more on that? Any more questions? You got any questions or anything?
I've got comments about the industry, really. I mean, the country trucker says sadly there are some people who bring drama to the industry, so it's really frustrating to watch. Yeah, it's really frustrating to watch us. Sorry, I read that wrong. It's frustrating to watch us. Well, that's what we're trying to do, country. We're trying to bring a different angle to the industry. I'm massively into my fitness as well, so I'm always trying to push being like a fitness, healthy trucker who is also positive about the industry at the same time. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that, although a lot of people do seem to think that there is, and they also carry on putting negative comments on positive posts, which makes absolutely no sense to me. I couldn't even imagine doing that, but I mean, we'll let them do it.
Some of the stuff they say as well, it literally doesn't make any sense of what they're saying.
Yeah. Evening, Sam. How you doing, mate?
Being positive is negative, apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently being positive and then also the biggest one I get, and this still rolls me up every single time, is that 6 years experience still isn't.
Yeah.
I'm still not qualified enough to class myself as being able to give advice to new passers or anyone else. Apparently, 6 years isn't enough, right?
Have you just to maybe get back onto the subject of what we're trying to do here? Yeah. Can you remember getting your first job? What were the experience like for you?
My first job, can't lie, was actually pretty easy to get. What did I do with it? I just applied through the company. I'm pretty sure I emailed them. It was something I got into recovery the first job I ever did, because I thought, do you know what, it'd be a cool thing to do. I always wanted to do recovery. I was always interested in it, but then I found out it wasn't the job for me because the hours didn't suit me. None of that suited me. But I went directly through the company, and then I remember my second job, I got a phone call. I think I signed up for an agency online, and then I got a phone call through them, and then ended up getting my second job. Which was really good. And then my job that I was in for 4.5 years, I ended up going for a friend and kind of mutually, finding that job. So it wasn't. To be fair, I've never really struggled getting a job, and also we're making it quite easy with you because we're literally telling you where to go. Elite Driver Jobs online. They sign up online. Links in my bio, or Elite Driver Jobs on TikTok. If you go onto their website, they have for new passers as well, which is the biggest thing that no other place has. You can literally apply for jobs that tell you if they accept new passers or not. I think that's one of
which is awesome.
Coolest, biggest feature you can find anywhere, is that you can literally click on there and look at jobs that for new passers. How did you find getting a job? Did you find it easy or?
Again, mate, mine were. I passed my tests and I started on the exact same day.
Did you?
But it wasn't because of like me being a new pass and anything like that. It was just who I knew. I knew somebody who was in a general haulage company, and I'd emailed the owner of that company about 2 months before my driving test, and I said, "Look, my driving test's on this date. If I pass, can I join?" And he was like, "Well, send us another email when you've passed." But at the bottom of his email, we put his number. So I literally passed. Half an hour later, I was on the phone to him. I rang and I said, "I passed my test today. I'm ready to start whenever." And he was like, "Come down this evening, mate. You can start this evening." So
Did you find anyone was negative to you when you first passed?
Oh mate, yeah, straight away. Like I say, I'm not going to name any names. I'm not going to name the company or anything like that. Because the company gave me the opportunity at the end of the day, and they allowed me to get my experience. But yeah, like I say, I went in, I saw the wagon. I was so excited to get myself into the industry and do my first job. And he's already sat in the passenger seat. He's kind of like pointing at the driver's seat, and I'm like, oh, sweet. So I'm literally getting like straight into this. Like I'm not even being a passenger princess for a bit. I'm driving this bad boy. In I get, jump into the cab, and he just goes, well, son, I don't know what you're doing getting into this industry. And I was just like...
But it's a lorry driving.
I was like, nice to meet you, mate. Nice to meet you too.
The thing is, though, I think for people that aren't confident, though, that would just completely knock them. Like, I'm quite a confident person anyway. I believe in myself. And I think if you're not, and you're going into this industry as a new pass, and then someone just instantly knocks you,
yeah, 100%.
That's the biggest issue. I think that's a massive problem with this.
100%, mate. 100%. It's tough. But guys, if you are just hopping in, this is the Trucking Truth podcast. We do this every single Sunday at 7 p.m. If you are watching and you're not tapping the screen, please start tapping the screen. Let's get some more likes into here. What? Sorry, I just got a text from somebody. I've completely lost my flow of what I was just saying there because I got a text.
That's throwing you off.
From my sister, and it was like weirdly like related to the live at the same time, but she's not watching, so I'm very, very confused. Anyway, what was I saying?
You were talking about...
make sure you're liking me, you're liking Bobby, you're following me, you're following Bobby, and you're also going over to the Trucking Truth podcast page where we'll upload all our clips from this podcast. So yeah, apparently my sister can't hear us. She's obviously watching. Sorry, Liv. Liv, if you want to put up the comment, come put it in here so I can read it. I can't read it when you're sending me a message.
I've had a question. Any types of haulage you want to do?
Well, me personally, I'm doing the haulage that I want to do currently. So I started off in general haulage, which was good. It was good, but you ended up doing a lot of the little naffy jobs, that you don't really... You sent to a site that you can barely fit in, and all the kind of like naff jobs that they picked up last second.
Yeah.
But now I do a bit more specialist work, so I do like flatbed work, a lot of concrete work, cranes, all that stuff. And then I'm hoping to stay here until I pass my probation, because I've only been at this company for about 3 months, and then move up to the heavy haulage team here, which is definitely an option. And I know after 6 months, they basically ask me, do I want to go down this route or this route? And I'm going to pick the heavy haulage route. So that's why I'm very interested to speak to our guest today as well, because it's going to give me some insights into potentially what I could be expecting. But yeah, what about yourself, mate? We've got bulk tippers from Sam. Sorry to interrupt you. They said it's the easiest work ever.
Bulk tippers?
I'm sorry for being on my phone, Nathan. I do apologise, mate.
Now, to be fair, I've done a fair few, and I'm quite happy where I am, to be honest. I'm doing like general, like pallet work, and I'm quite happy with that. There's none really that I haven't. I'd like to probably get into the heavy haulage, to be honest. I think that'd be interesting too. I don't know if you could class it as heavy haulage, but I've driven with a low loader with some massive machines on, but I wouldn't class it as heavy haulage. I've done that before in one of my old companies as just a little side quest when we were moving places. But there's none really that I quite enjoyed carpets, which was very manual. Manual labour. That was a
bit of fitness as well.
Kept you fit though. That was
oh mate, definitely. I don't mind them types of jobs.
Yeah.
We've got Dave who's popped in here as well. Dave was our first guest ever on the show. Welcome on in, Dave. How you doing, mate?
Hello.
And I've got my sister who's asking us a little question here, which is, what is your go-to scran on the evening while trucking? Well, I don't actually buy anything from the service stations. That's how boring I am. I meal prep everything, so it's usually just chicken, broccoli, and rice. Although today we've changed it up, actually, because I got a meal voucher. So I have got a king prawn, tomato and basil pasta from M&S. So there you go. But I try not to go into any of the fast food places. It's just one of the things I try not to do. especially when I'm on the cut at the minute. So I've only got 1,900 calories that I can eat per day. I know this is boring. If I eat a takeaway, that's it. It's done.
Some people find this interesting. To be fair, I've never gone into services because I don't buy food from there because they're expensive. My wife's just messaged me saying prawns. She's jealous.
I've got a comment. Sorry, I have to interrupt you, mate. It's not just trucking; it's M&S trucking.
To be fair, I'm boring as well. I don't save my trucks. I just eat at home, but I don't eat much.
Brilliant. Well, we've got 1 minute until our guest is coming on. So I don't know if you want to introduce him. If you want to introduce him before we get him on, maybe double check he's ready to come in.
Well, someone messaged me is ready. Bam Bam.
Well, my sister's saying #van band. Saying a truck driver drives a van. My whole family like to wind me up by saying I'm a van driver.
The loud R just said, "You had a better day today. I want to see a positive post." I am positive. I keep saying that I'm a negative poster on TikTok. I'll bet a lot more people have.
Are you going to introduce your mate?
Okay. So the bloke we're having on today, his name's Owen. I met Owen in Frankly Services a few weeks back, and
you've actually met him? Oh, that's pretty mad.
I met him in Frankly Services. Absolutely lovely bloke, and he spotted me as I was walking through the services, and he stopped me to have a chat. And honestly, he's so lovely, and I'm trying to get him to post more on TikTok. He actually did do his first ever face-to-face kind of video, which absolutely brilliant. I told him to keep doing it. He was actually live not that long ago because he's trying to get more confident on here. But I think he's a lovely bloke. But he basically got into heavy haulage as a new pass. I think he's only been driving 3 years now, and he's been heavy haulage. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure he's been in it the whole time.
Which is awesome.
Which is apparently unbelievable for a new pass to get straight into heavy haulage. Because
I reckon it definitely is. Yeah,
it's the hardest things. But I'm going to figure out how to add him in here, and we can get chatting to him. How do I add people in here, bro?
So you should just be able to invite him as a guest.
That works, doesn't it? Because that just helped me massively.
I didn't help you.
How do I do it? Which button do I press?
I think they might have to request to join actually. If you ask him to request to join the live, and then
I've got it.
He'll basically accept. I will accept him.
I'm good at this. I am.
Tacos up. Have a good night, lads. Have a good night, Nathan, mate. Be grand if you had half the idea of the jobs yourself. Mikey, mate, I've got no idea what you're on about, fella. But welcome on into this positive space. I'm really glad that you can come in and be negative. It takes a real man to do that.
Oh, and if you're in here, I don't know if you can request to join, bro. If you can try and join, I have no idea what I'm doing with my life here. I'm nearly playing a game with you here.
You should just be able to hop in.
Make new friends with quick.
Wish I was more confident to talk more on this platform. Yeah, definitely, Dave, mate. To be fair, once you've made your first video and maybe your second video, third, fourth, and it goes to fifth, and then after that, you're more than happy to carry on, and you gain that confidence. It would be great for Fitbel as well, Sam. I don't know why he's coming here instantly being negative, where we're all being positive, and he's coming in here and being negative.
I've got Owen now. He just said how. How does he join?
Is he in? Is he coming in?
I've accepted him now.
There we
go.
I'm here. He'll be on in a minute.
Owen, welcome on in.
Thanks for having me.
I don't know if you want to come on camera or if you want to stay in audio. It's up to you, bro. Completely up to you.
No, I'll go on camera. Don't know how to do it.
I don't actually know if you can. Whilst we're
there we
go. There we are.
Oh, he can. He's here. He's in truck as well.
I am. I'm nighting out.
Oh, lovely. So I'm in my truck as well, but you can't see it because I've got this background on. But
I'm in rainy Newark.
He's got a lovely duvet cover behind you, haven't you?
I've got a green duvet cover behind me. Yeah.
So's mine, to be fair. Olive green.
Oh, appreciate you hopping on here, Owen. Absolutely awesome.
No, thanks for having me.
It's awesome to hear that you've gone straight to heavy haulage as well. And if I'm right in saying there were a lot of people that said you wouldn't be able to do that.
No, yeah, you're right. I got told new passers can't do heavy haulage, can't do this and can't do that. I've gone out there and I've proved them wrong.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, I passed in April 2023. So it's literally just gone 3 years.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, struggled to get my first job. Nobody take new passers on. I had a friend. He give me work as and when we needed or when I could. Got me the miles under my seat, got me where I needed to be.
Yeah, awesome.
And then 2 years, well, after my first year, my old employer were advertising for a low loader driver,
Right.
up to 72 ton gross. I thought, you know what, in for a penny, in for a pound, let's go for it.
Yeah.
So I went for it and applied, and I got the job, and that set me off on the road to where I am now. You know,
Amazing.
I think that's the one thing you got to do. I think it's the confidence in being able to just apply for the job. Like instead of going, "Oh, I'm a new pass," or I ain't got much experience." To me, I think a year experience is more than adequate for nearly every
yeah,
job possible.
yeah, you get the fundamentals like going forward, getting round corners, you know, trailer swing and so on and so forth. You get the fundamentals of it all. You know, reversing into tight gateways or onto bays, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You get the
100%.
gist of it.
Yeah, 'cause something I wrote down here for you as well, Owen, was that do you think it is more about attitude rather than experience? You know, if you apply to
Oh,
a job and
100%.
you've got that confidence and you're sure that you're eager to get the job, do you reckon, you know, having that good attitude is more valuable than the experience anyway?
Oh, absolutely. You've got to, when you do heavy haulage, you've got to be confident in what you're doing. You know, I gross up to 150 ton.
Right. So you've moved up
So
again since starting.
yeah, I've started with this firm where I am now, second week of January.
Right.
And you've got to get a vehicle weighing potentially up to 150 ton into a site. I move demolition machines around.
Oh, cool.
Biggest machine we move, it's his own, 85 ton.
Right. What the heck?
So you've got to get that into sites. Not every site is built for wagons of this size.
Definitely
So,
not.
so you've got to be confident in everything you do. You know, you've got to pre-plan. No matter what you're doing in heavy haulage, you've got to pre-plan your routes, your tacho breaks, embargoes. There's so much that comes with it. It's not just a case of jumping in, turning steering wheel. You've got to be switched on, and you've got to have the mentality to want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you
100%.
applied for that job, did you find out they were questioning you because you were a new pass? Did they have trust in you straight away?
No, I was lucky because with the first job, we're moving plant again, diggers, dumpers, dozers, so on and so forth. I used to work for him years ago. So the owner knew me.
Right.
You know, I
Okay.
used to drive his machines. I worked for him for 4 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he knew me. So he already had that trust in me. But if you were just some random person that had got the job, yeah, of course, they're going to be at first not apprehensive, if the word's right. They're going to be nervous, if you know what I mean. You're going out heavy. You've got to know what you're doing. So they've got to learn you and learn that you can do the job,
Yeah.
if you know.
I think I think they're like that with even in like general haulage, aren't they? If a new driver comes in, they're still going to be a bit, you know, like they're going to be watching you a bit more closely than everyone else,
Oh, yeah.
because they're trying to see if you're adequate for the job. To be fair, but
Oh,
I
of
think
course, yeah. It's not something you can just jump into. You can't, you know, walk into a job and go down road 150 ton.
no,
There's no. You've got to like build yourself up with it. Start on small plant, then
Yeah.
build up, and then get bigger and bigger and progress. You know.
yeah, 100%. You can't just go in thinking you're going to move a 82 ton thing tomorrow.
No,
I
no.
think
Can you remember the first heavy haulage load that you ever did?
Yeah, it was. Well, when we call heavy haulage, it depends what people think, but I were over 44 ton.
I'd class that as heavy haulage, yeah.
Yeah, I had a 21 ton Komatsu excavator to go from the yard to Leeds, which was about 35 mile, and it was a Saturday.
Right.
Plain sailing, you've got to follow a movement order
Yeah, yeah.
when you're on heavy haulage. You've got to follow that to the letter, and it takes you straight to it. At first, it takes some getting used to or getting your head round and understanding. But again, down to pre-planning, look at your route, look at your roads, and you breeze it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to worry about, you've got to look at the routes, but you're not going to come across any low bridges. You know, say if you're at 15 foot, you're not going to come to a 12-foot bridge.
Yeah.
Because the system that they use will flag it up, so they won't even send you on that movement order down that route.
Yeah. With the work that I do, we have a lot of movement orders because we do a lot of abnormal loads. I don't actually do any heavy loads myself, but I'll do wide loads and long loads. But I actually quite like getting the movement orders because you know where the site is. Then it takes you straight to the site. There's no like panicking about. I don't know how good your movement orders are in comparison, but mine always takes me to the gate of where I'm going, and I think they're great.
Yeah, no, it does take you straight to the. Some you can get different systems. Some are better than some are others. It depends what you're used to working with. You know, you've got Abolia, you've got Esdal, you know, such as route planners like that. You know, it depends on what you're used to and what you can work with, which find it easier.
I've got a few questions from the people that are watching here as well for you, Owen, from my side. I've got Nas asking you, is the extra money worth it?
Yeah, of course it is. You know, if you've got to dream big. To dream big, you've got to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you do get paid more. End of the day, wage is down to what you agree with the employer. So, you know, I could be on more than someone else that's doing the exact same job.
Yeah.
That's down to what I want and what I'm worth or so on and so forth. But yeah, come end of the day when you turned off for the day or you're nighted out, you've got to where you need to be safely without incident. It is a good feeling. You know what I mean? It is, and it is worth it. At the end of every week, when you've done all your jobs and everything that needs to be done, it is worth it.
Yeah, 100%. Do you do many hours on it? Like, is it a lot of hours compared to let's say a normal, as in like general haulage job?
It can be. It can be antisocial hours.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like last week, for instance, I were off at midnight I was going up Scotland. I were away at midnight, but I were parked up at 11 o'clock. Well, just shy of 12 o'clock, I were parked up out of hours.
Yeah.
You know, you do get, and you're trying to get big machines into city centres where most people can't get a car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you don't want to do that during the day. You know, when everybody's walking around in cars, so on and so forth. So you work through the night. So you do get antisocial hours.
Yeah.
And you've got time restraints to work to, like, you'll know yourself, embargo times.
Yeah.
Where you're not allowed to be on the road. You've got to plan your jobs around them times. And sometimes you've got to start late on the night or work through the night or early in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one last week. It was a wide load into Mayfair in London. And, it makes it even more difficult because it's dark. When it's pitch black and you can't quite see, you know, exactly where your back end is, I suppose, when you're going around the corners. And I've not got a huge amount of experience. I've only been driving for a few years. And even myself doing that, it can still be a little bit daunting. So do you ever still feel that, like, I guess, like heavy-chested, like, anxiety feeling, or are you over that now?
Oh, no, absolutely. You know, if you go to places like where you've been yourself, of course, yeah, it's natural. You are going to get, am I going to get round this corner? Or that bollards it where, what am I going to do? But with the line of work I do, sometimes I have an escort vehicle.
Yeah.
And we self-escort, we've got our own escort vehicle, and I work with the lad day in, day out. I've got my full trust in him, so if I'm going around the corner and I can't see back into my trailer, he will guide me. He'll say, "Oh, you're getting a bit close." Well, I've got two trailers. One of them I can power steer, so I can alter the axles with a remote control. He'll say, "Oh, you're getting a bit close here," so I can just put a bit of correction in, swing the trailer out a bit, and get round the corner. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's mental.
But yeah, you do. Even still, then you get anxiety. Not if you could call it anxiety, but like that tightness in your chest where you think,
it's like that heaviness.
I don't know about this one here. This is going to... Quite a few times I've been telling, I'm thinking, I'm not going to get around here. Absolutely not. But you've got to do it. You've got to find a way. You can't just park up in that road and sit there. So I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
You've got to find a way. You can't be beaten. You've just got to trust yourself and trust your ability.
I don't think
What's
you'd be
the-
human if you didn't have that. If you didn't have that feeling in your chest, I don't think you'd be human. I get that most days. Like even now, after driving for that long, you get to some place and you think, how am I going to get in here? Or how am I going to get out of it? But it's having that confidence, isn't it? And I think
Absolutely.
you've got that, you're fine. What are you
So
going to say?
what would you say, then, Owen, if, from like memory, I suppose, is the most stressful situation you've ever been in, driving the heavy haulage wagon?
I had to turn around in a cul-de-sac with a 30-ton digger on the back of a trailer.
Oh, that sounds like a bit stressful, yeah.
Luckily, there were a like side street off where I could swing my nose in.
Right.
But then it were a blind side back out to the site. The site was literally at the end of the cul-de-sac. So with a 30-ton digger on, you'd have been just shy of 60 ton, and you're blindsiding it in a residential area where there's parked cars, because people don't like to move the cars.
Yeah.
And help you out, and
Why would they do that?
you're getting loads of stress, loads of stressful positions. It's just how you work it out, and how you've got to have good men around you, banksmen, people you can trust. They help you out, no end. Reversing onto sites.
Yeah.
It's like you're not meant to use your phone while you're driving, but it's key. You can talk, you can ring somebody up.
Yeah.
They can be stood at the back of the trailer. They can say, oh, left a bit, right a bit, or you're all right. It's another set of eyes. It gives you that little bit more confidence.
Yeah, definitely.
To do what
having a set of walkie-talkies as well, ready to go.
Either or, if you've not got one, you've always got the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It can be stressful at times.
It sounds it. It sounds.
But it's not as hard as what people think.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking of moving up to. I have the option to move up to heavy haulage at the company that I work at, and hopefully within the next 3 months, that is what I'll be doing. So, what bit of advice could you give for me? That's moving up from 44 ton. I just do 44 ton flatbed work at the minute. What will be the difference? What would I need to know?
I mean, what are you going up in, as in weight as well?
Yeah. So I only do up to 44 ton at the minute.
Yeah. Check your heights. Whatever you've put on, I don't know what you carry or what you're going to carry, but check your heights. Make sure you know what height you're running at. Check your width. Know about how heavy the load is to space it out on your trailer. It's about load, so you're not overloading axles and whatever else. Running to speed limits, like, I've come down with a 40-ton crusher up back of my trailer today. I'm at 40 mile an hour. But that is the speed limit.
Yeah.
When I move the 85 tonner, I'm down at 30 mile an hour because I'm at Cat 3. I'm over 80 ton. You've got to know what you're moving and where it's going. It's all about pre-planning. Tie down points. If you're unsure, put more on. You'll never ever get told off. I use chains. There's sometimes I've got 8 chains holding one machine.
Yeah.
Down onto the bed, and then I've got a chain over the arm. You'll never get told off for having more chains on. If you don't have enough, you're in a world of trouble.
So that's what my company always say. They say if it don't look right, throw another strap over it.
But it's not just that. It's for your peace of mind as well.
Yeah.
When you're going down, you've got to be safe when you're going down that road, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
So if you think I'm not happy with that, chuck another chain on it or another strap or whatever you're carrying. Double check. If you're not happy, put another one on.
Yeah.
You've got people's lives in your hand. If you go around a corner and that load comes off, the potential of what could happen is catastrophic. It could be anything. So you've got to know, as soon as you leave sight, you are 100% certain that is tied down.
Yeah, well, it's a killing machine at the end of the day. It's a killing machine.
Of course it is, yeah, absolutely. But, go on, sorry.
No, carry on.
I forgot, I've lost my train of thought now.
I was going to say, there's no way I would have carried that on if that was me.
I tried to recover. You just
Sorry, guys, I've absolutely just ruined that.
Yeah.
You was in a good flow then.
I were on it.
Have you got any questions to ask, Bobby? Because you know what I'm like, mate. I'm more than prepared. I could carry on for the next hour.
No, to be fair, I was just gonna carry on with what you were saying about strapping things down. I was gonna bring it into a more of a thing. That's one thing I always get told. Well, I say told. That's one thing I always run into is like, once again, some of the older guys that have been the more experienced people tell me, oh, you shouldn't be putting so many straps over something, or you shouldn't be putting so many, you shouldn't be strapping things down when they're like. Yeah. I'm like, mate, the more straps the better. As like especially obviously we talk about new passers in the industry. I think that's just one thing to highlight. You can never put too many straps on something. You can never put, you can, the safer the better. Don't ever let someone tell you, oh, don't strap it up or don't do it in a certain way. If you're going to spend half an hour putting more straps over something, crack on, carry on doing it. No matter what they say to you, stay safe. That's probably the point I was trying to get out of that, just as a little extra for the new passers.
Yeah, I've got another question for you here, Owen, from my comments. It's what was your training like for things that were over 44 ton?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't have training.
Right, so you're really thrown in the deep end then.
But I've driven excavators, dozers, dumpers and such as for 18 years. I know how they handle, how they work. I've helped load and unload the trailers numerous of times, hundreds of times. So I've helped the wagon driver. So I've picked tips up like that along on the way. I think your mate Dave that were on last week.
That's just actually the question.
Yeah, he hit the nail on the head last week when he said, surround yourself with people that will help you. Yeah, I've got 5 or 6 people I could ring 24 hours a day. If I were ever in need of advice, help or whatever, I could ring them no matter what time. They'll always answer and say, right, what's up? Put me on FaceTime, I'll show you. Yeah. And now I've picked stuff asking other older drivers, then that will help me. I've asked them and they've took the time out of their day or whatever to explain stuff to me, like positioning on the trailer where you want to be putting it to not overload axles. That key advice off of experienced man is hard to come by, and once you get it, it's golden. It is golden. Nobody was born to do a certain job. Everybody, no, even the old guys that say, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, they always had day one.
Yeah.
They always learnt. They was in our shoes 40 years ago. How did they learn?
Yeah.
Technology is more advanced now. We've got better tie downs, bigger chains, such better than what they had.
Oh, definitely.
But they ultimately had day one, and they didn't know what they were doing on their first day.
Yeah,
100%.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, mate.
It does help having more of a background in like heavy equipment or heavy haulage. It does pay. It is a massive advantage.
Yeah, I suppose at least you've come in with a bit of information. So that day one, I mean, although I'm sure it was still quite daunting, wasn't quite as daunting as it would have been for someone who's never driven anything of that size.
No, but I was lucky because the employer at the time, it says, right, you're taking this, just get there and back.
Yeah.
He wasn't clock watching. He wasn't on the phone. Oh, where are you? You got this to do that.
Yeah.
I was given time to settle in, learn, and know, you know what I mean?
Which is good. Which is what you need.
It helped. It helped a lot. And then within 4 weeks, I would say I was flying straight on doing it. It was second nature. But you still to this day, double check everything. When you've loaded it, go out tight, chain on, do like a checklist. So when you're in that cab, you know when you drive, you've checked it off in your head and you're fine.
Absolutely, mate. And just to bring it back, and all the information you've given here has just been absolutely awesome. I'm sure there's a lot of people listening who either needed to hear this, maybe needed that boost of confidence from somebody who has done it. But going back to, the point of the episode, which is the industry for a new pass, if there were one bit of advice that you'd give to somebody who's just passed their test and they're wanting to, give it their all, what would you say to them?
Do it. If that's the line of work you want to do it. But start off small. Like, just say, for instance, you want to move plant, diggers and dumpers. Start off on the lower end, the smaller size. Learn how they go up the ramps and such and how they act and how to tie them down. Then progress up to like the medium size, that kind of stuff. And then over years, then progress. I won't say you could pass your test today and go drive 150 ton unit tomorrow, because you could end up in a world of trouble. It's not for the faint-hearted, but also it's not too hard, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's easy. If that's what you want to do, don't listen to anybody that says, you can't do this, or you just do it, because that's what I've done. I got told you couldn't do this. New passers can't do it. My goal was set out, prove them wrong. 100%. And now they're seeing me go down road, 100 ton, 140 ton.
Well, and I think it's great that I now know you as well, because when I hear these people saying similar things, I'm going to say, well, I actually know somebody who did do that, so sure.
It's not about proving. Suppose it is proving people wrong, but it's also showing, like you said, the new passers, it can be done.
Yeah.
Exactly. Don't matter if you're a lad or you're a lass or how old you are, age. That doesn't matter. It's about your mentality. It's what you've got to have, the drive to do it and want to do it. And don't give up when time gets tricky, because it will get tricky and it will get hard. It isn't a walk in the park. You've just got to keep going. Keep cool, calm and collected. That is my advice.
Yeah. I think I'll also add on over there, I think all new passers are in the same boat. No one's different to anyone else. If you're a new pass, everyone started there. Like, I remember my first day when I was a lorry driver, when I first joined, I was in the same boat that the new passers are in right now. And I think the more we speak about this, the better it is for everyone else.
Oh, definitely, mate.
Absolutely. See, when you two pass your tests and I passed your tests, there wasn't really TikTok around and people like yourselves doing like podcasts or shows like this for new drivers. But at least they can jump on now, listen to whatever guests you've got on and yourselves, and actually think, actually, it isn't as bad as what I first thought or what people were making out. Yeah, it will get tricky times, but it's not as bad. It's not as scary as what you believe.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what we're trying to do as well. We're just trying to promote a bit more of like a positive environment in the industry, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But yeah, a lot of people seem to find offence by a younger driver doing that, and I still don't quite understand that mentality, to be honest. But it is a thing.
No, it's a massive thing. You walk around some truck shop stops on a night, you see old boys stood together, and you roll in with a nice looking truck with a big load on it, and you can see them looking and judging at you.
Yeah.
And if you mess up reversing in, they're going to go, oh, look at him, he can't reverse that into there. I said, what? I've messed up.
I think Dave touched on that last week, didn't he?
Yeah. I'll just have another go. And if I have to have a third go, then all right, I'll have a third go. I will reverse it in. It just might take me 4 or 5 attempts. But I will get it there.
There's no shame in taking a shunt. That's the thing.
Nope.
There's no shame in it at all.
No, at all.
I was speaking to a lad at work the other
But
day.
also, sorry.
No, go on.
If you're ever struggling, don't be afraid to get out. You see another driver, just like, can you help me?
Yeah.
There is no shame in it in any way, shape or form. If you're struggling, it's better to ask for help than it is to reverse into a truck or into a building or whatever. Ask for help. There's no shame in it in any way, shape or form. If it looks better, because then you learn off the old hands.
Yeah, definitely.
You know
I just have one more question for you from my side, Owen. Kind of well, you can answer it however you want, I suppose. But if there's one thing in the industry that you could change with like the click of your fingers, what are you changing?
As in the heavy haulage side?
Yeah, we'll stick to the
or just in general.
You could. It's up to you. Answer it however you want to answer it.
I'd like to get rid of negativity. I'd like to see people helping each other out.
Yeah.
You know, if you see someone struggling and you're on your break, just get out, put your sandwich down, get out, give them an hand. It might be raining or whatever. They need your help more than you need to have your dinner. You know, you can have food any time. It's the negativity. Nobody willing to help each other out at times. It's never going to stop, but surely it's got to be a lot better than what it is.
Yeah, the thing is, I like you say, I don't think it ever will stop. I think there always will be a few people that are negative, but I do think the new generation of drivers that are joining the industry do have a little bit of a different mindset. You know, I ain't spoke to many new drivers who have told me not to do the job or told me that I'm in the wrong industry. It's usually the generation that's got a little bit of a harder ego without trying to be too harsh. That say the things like that to me. So I think eventually it will start to fade away. It's just pushing it out.
Yeah,
100%.
but it's not going to get pushed out. It'll never change. You just can't listen to what gets said. If you took in everything that people said, you'd never get back in a truck.
No,
Yeah,
no,
100%.
you 100% wouldn't. It's what I said to Bobby earlier when we first started. It can be a tough world for a new pass because
It's brutal at times.
yeah,
They expect
all
you
you're
to
hearing is all
live
this
like-
negativity and people not willing to help you out and maybe taking the mick out of you a little bit when you absolutely botched up a reverse and you're 90 degrees in the middle of the service station and no one's helping you out.
But that should give you the drive to do better or to prove them wrong if you get me drift.
Yeah, it's a good way of looking at it. So switching it on its head and taking the negativity and using
Turn it a positive and say that, yeah, I'll show you. I will do this and do it.
That's always been my thing in life. I always have to prove everyone wrong. I have to do it. And
Yeah.
the more people like put me down, it just keeps me going. It's like the
I'm
negativity
the
on
same.
TikTok and stuff. When I get all these comments and it just makes me laugh. They think it actually does something to me, but it doesn't. It's that I'm like, I'll literally just prove you wrong. That's all I'm gonna do. I'll just show you.
Yeah, but
It's all right.
it's good as well when you've done it. It gives you like a buzz or a
Yeah,
uplift that you've
100%.
proven them wrong. You've done it. You've got where you needed to
Yeah.
be safely,
100%.
and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's all the questions that I've got on my end. Bobby, have you got any more? Or
No, I'm all good. I don't know if anyone in my comments wants to ask any question, before we wrap it up. Don't know. Do you want to give?
I have had quite a few messages whilst we were on, but I think we were just that much in a flow that I didn't even look at them. But no, I think that's it from me. But Owen, I really appreciate you bobbing on here. It's been awesome to speak to somebody who's in the seat of what I want to be in. So yeah, I really appreciate it, mate.
No, thanks for having me. I'll be tuning in every week and joining in where I can and commenting and whatever else. And if you ever need me to jump back on at any time, I will do. Happy to do so.
100%.
Awesome, mate.
We'll definitely have
Thank
you
you
on
very
again.
much.
You've been an
Yeah,
absolute
definitely.
legend.
All right.
Cheers,
See you
mate.
later.
I'll see you in a bit.
Thank you, Owen. Have a good night,
See you,
mate.
bye.
Thank you, mate. Bye bye. I don't know if he knows how to turn it off because I wouldn't have a clue either. There we go.
He's done it. He's done it.
I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring everyone with all these questions. I thought we'd just get that out of the way, and then we've got some time now to answer everyone's questions.
Yeah. Well, that were Owen. I hope that were valuable to at least a few people in here. Obviously, from Owen's experience there, he's absolutely loving the role. Again, he's similar mindset to us, wanting that positivity in the industry. It's absolutely awesome to hear. But I hope that people have managed to take something valuable away from Owen there. What an absolute legend. Thank you for popping on, mate.
Absolutely smashed it.
But yeah, I've had a question from Josh. He's just said, what part of the industry are you boys in?
I'm in general haulage, so I do like pallets. That's what I do. I've done recovery, carpets, fridge work, and now I'm in pallets or general haulage, which I thoroughly love because it's just easy work.
And I'm on a flatbed team, so I do, well, everything I do is flatbed work. We do have two curtain siders, but I've still never used them. A lot of concrete work, steel work, cabins. What else do we do? Cranes, like crane sections. Yeah, a lot of abnormals as well, wide loads, all that sort of stuff, mate. Everything that goes on a flatbed, basically, that's what I do. We don't really do too much of like the builder's merchant stuff, like bricks and slates and stuff like that. We don't really do that. We're normally the bigger objects. That's what I do.
There we go. I had a question from Jamie a while back. What are your thoughts on new passes basically being forced into agency?
Correct, old school. Someone just guessed the company I work at.
Do you want me to take this one because I'm on agency, aren't I? You want me to take
Yeah,
that
yeah,
question?
yeah. If you've got an agency question, mate, you go
Jamie,
for
to
it.
be fair, I was employed for 4.5 years, actually more than that. I'm from different places, but for one company, I was there for 4.5 years, and then I've been on agency ever since. And for me, I'd say it's lifestyle. I know a lot of people put agency down for for oh you can't get work or whatever. I don't know. I've been on agency now for way over a year, and I've never had a day without work. And I've been at one company that whole time. I know there was once where they didn't book me in, but that was by accident. And then I was in somewhere else literally the next day. I didn't have a day off. Agency is not scary at all. If you want to get some like work under your belt because you can't find a job, agency 100%. And I like it because it works for me, it works for my life. But I would, if you want a full-time job, I wouldn't be scared as a new pass either. And as we said earlier, our sponsor, Elite Driver Jobs, if you go onto their website, I've got a link in my bio. You can just sign up on there. If there's not a job in your area, there will be more jobs, the more people that sign up. That'll be put on straight away. They have a filter that filters out companies that will only take on new passers. So you can literally join on there straight away and apply for all the jobs that will take on new passers. They also send you a message after, or is it an email? Is it message or an email? I think both. Did he say the other day that they've now made it into a message? Or was it just
Well, they're developing an app, aren't they? I know they're developing an app. I'm not sure. You said notification to me, so I'm not too sure.
I don't know if it's an email or a message. I don't know if one of the Elite lads can pop it in the comments so we can confirm whether it's a message or an email. But they'll actually email you to let you know if you haven't got the job. So rather than you being in the dark, they will let you know if you haven't got the job.
Yeah, great company. And again, just want to say a big thanks to Elite Driver Jobs who are sponsoring the podcast. Absolutely awesome.
Beautiful.
Got a few comments on my end. How's my pal Gary Drumble? I don't know many names, to be fair. Old school driver. Is he quite a skinny lad? Does he run marathons? If he runs marathons, then I do know him. I know Gary, but this Gary runs marathons and stuff. I passed near Christmas, so I struggled. Have you managed to get a job now? Daft Dave, have you managed to get a job now? Josh Mayall, he's in 8 years now, at 26 years old. He's moving bridges and bridges beams for the motorway bridges. Awesome, Josh. Awesome, mate. That sounds very, very cool. Are you enjoying that? Is that kind of been your goal to get onto that sort of work? Is there any other work that you may be eyeing up? I've had that loud R. The first things first, boys, is you need a cowboy hat on the dash and you must drive a V8. No boots allowed. Hashtag V8. And then we've had old school lorry driver in here again. It's SHIT for new passes. Can't get a job without experience, but how do you get the experience without the job? Exactly that, mate. Exactly that. That's another topic that I did have on here for us to speak about. Although I'm going to put my lights on because I can't see my. I'm now exposing that I've got notes. I have got notes. Oh, but then I go really weird colour, don't I?
That's all.
Is that alright?
I'll forgive you this once.
Yeah. But yeah, well, one thing that we were going to speak about, which our man, old school driver, has just brought up, is being a new pass, you're expected to have this experience, and you get looked down upon for not having 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, whatever they want in experience. But how are you meant to get that experience when companies aren't willing to take the chance on you?
100%.
I don't like that, right?
I've just had but Elite Driver Jobs have just said, correct, you'll get an email or a text to notify you on the status of your application. So they'll let you know whether they're reviewing or if you've got the job or if you haven't got the job. They will let you know. Which is still probably, I think, the best feature.
Got quite a few comments here, but I can't keep up with them, to be fair. What the heck? Someone's cab was always filled with beer, apparently. Beer, sweets, money, every day for like 3 weeks. I'm not sure what you're on about, mate. What's going on here? But yeah, I've got a few topics that me and Bobby can talk about. And you know what? Now you know I've got notes. I'm putting it here. Just because I can't read it over there. It's too dark in that corner of my cab. So, one thing that I thought we could talk about, and if anybody does have any questions or anything like that, feel free to interrupt us and we'll move on to yours. But can you remember how it felt being a new driver?
Yeah, terrifying. Absolutely. The thing is, I have confidence. I'm quite a confident person. I'm confident in myself, and I'm a confident driver
Yeah.
anyway. And then when I passed my test, I went into my first job, and instantly I was just knocked. My confidence was gone because of how negative it was. And I
Yeah.
was like, I was looked as if I'd been driving a car for I don't even know how many years, for a fair few years before I passed my HGV license. So
Yeah.
I was confident anyway, but to go in it felt like I'd never driven in my life. how people made you feel as if you'd never even been on the road before. So it was. I remember just being knocked massively, and I remember thinking, I don't want anyone else to feel this, especially people that aren't as confident as me. I thought, oh, there are people going into this industry, and they're not as confident as me. They're going to be knocked massively, and they're going to want to do it,
Oh yeah.
which is
100%.
a big thing for me. How did you feel?
The one thing that I'll always remember being a new pass was my like serious fear of service stations. Like I just had like an unbelievable like as soon as I knew I was gonna have to pull in for like a 15-minute, like a 45-minute break, and I'm talking like in my first ever week of like driving the truck, you know, like my first week, and you're pulling into the service station, and you know you're gonna have to do a reverse potentially in between two other people's trucks. Like, I just remember my heart like nowadays it does nothing, you know. I'll pull in and it's nothing now, but I remember that first week of it, my heart going, you know, proper
100%.
pounding. The fear of the service stations is the thing that I always remember. I speak to my mate about it all the time. I'm like, can you remember when we used to be like, because we both started at basically the same time.
Yeah.
I was like, can you remember when we used to both like ring each other before we got to a service station because we needed like a little bit of moral support? And I think it was just like the fear of everybody watching, because obviously like people are like, everyone's looking at each other, and I think it was just the fear of everybody eating their sandwich and having a look and then seeing me butching up a reverse. But yeah, that's one of the things I'll always remember, mate. That was like my biggest fear. And obviously, of course, my first interaction. Hello, American Auto Sales. Thank you for the follow, mate. But yeah. I mean, I suppose before we go to the next one, let's just do a quick little.
People just say about that. Owen just said, "Still have it now."
Start the service station fear. Yeah, it happens.
I'm
all right now. If I know I'm going to a service station that's a little bit poor, like Northampton services, mate, I'll try avoid that service station at all costs because it is terrible. It's terrible.
It doesn't bother me anymore. I know what it's like at the start. Cliff O's just put the service station is scary. I've done it once, and I was looking for two spaces together.
That's the thing, though. There is definitely like a fear of service stations when you first drive, but like I say, you've just got to do it. You've just got to drive in there, and you've just got to do it. And then the more times you do it, the more comfortable you're going to be with it.
That Seal Junior's put, I think it's Seal Junior. At what point did that fear start disappearing? Like, when did you become more confident in HGV?
I reckon mine probably about 3 weeks. I think after my first week, or a bit more like, all right, okay, I'm still absolutely pooing my pants, but I know I can do it. You know, I've done it many times. I know I can do it. I just need to take my time, but I was still panicking a lot. In like my second and like third week, that's when I was like, right, okay, I can do it. But I think it helped because my first job was like day work. So I'd be doing like stuff like Royal Mail, and it was basically just backing onto bits. I'd be backing onto like 6-7 bays a day. So I got a lot of practice with backing into bays, and I think that's what helped me a lot. I have had a good comment from the Loud R here. He says he actually has a service station fear, but it's only if he needs a number 2.
I think, to be fair, I think still a lot of drivers, we still get that like fear. I don't think that ever goes. I have days where, especially if I'm going to a drop I've never been to before, I know I get there and like I've seen on Google Maps and know it's gonna be quite tight or it's just a weird angle or whatever. I still get that. I don't think that ever leaves. I'm not sure, but I don't think it ever does. I had Emily said, "I struggle now more than when I was a fresh driver after a little blip."
To be fair, the little blips can set you back.
Yeah,
definitely for sure. I think it's just getting over that. I know that's way easier said than done, But
So, Owen just put Hilton Park needs blowing up.
he said what?
Hilton Park needs blowing up.
Oh mate, yeah, no, it's terrible. It is shocking in there. I mean, there is some absolute shockers.
Yeah.
And there's service stations that I will avoid. To be fair, service stations could be a good topic to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I could talk about service stations for a long time.
You said Frankly, didn't you? You're not a big fan of Frankly.
Oh no, I don't like I don't like any of the ones where you're all parked like in a line. I don't like any of them ones. I just think they're a little bit. I don't know. There's just always idiots about that park in the middle bit where you're meant to drive out, and they'll just park there and block the entire row.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. Getting into a right pickle in a tight yard and thinking you're stuck there forever scares me. Yeah. Yeah, you got to think though, if you got in, you can get out. Usually.
Owen needs to stop commenting. Owen's just put would rather pull my card just to not park at Hilton.
I mean, we're not promoting that, but if that's what you need to do, mate, that's what you need to do. I've got Skywalker, who is Shane in here. Birchanger is your fave. No, it definitely isn't, mate. It is not. Birchanger services I also can't stand. And it's actually alright. It's big enough. You can fit enough trucks in there, but I just hate it. I can't stand Birchanger.
Is it Tino? Not I don't know how to say your name. Oh, let's just said start my class 1 practical tomorrow. Any good companies, agencies that take on new drivers, no tramping? I think it depends where you are. But I'd recommend. Obviously, I'm an agency. I think if you're going to go apply for an agency, just tell them exactly what you want. Obviously, if you don't want to tramp, just be open and honest with them. Just say I want a job, but I don't want to tramp. I've never stopped in a truck. I've never stayed in a lorry in 6 years, and loads of people find that shocking. But yeah, I'll just tell them exactly what you want. I think that's the best advice I can give. Don't be scared to go. I don't want to do tramping because it's not a necessity to be a lorry driver to have to sleep in your truck. Well, apparently, according to my TikTok comments, you have to, but it's not.
No, you don't. You really don't have to. But just to quickly cut in, apologies, Bobby. But yeah, this is the Trucking Truth podcast, guys. So if you are in either mine or Bobby's live, please make sure that you are hitting the like button so that we're bringing more truckers in. We're spreading that positivity about the industry even further. Just make sure you're spamming that like button, dropping me a follow, dropping Bobby a follow as well, and then please go over and follow the Trucking Truth on TikTok, on Instagram, YouTube, anything else that we're on. Anyway, all socials,
Facebook
all
socials. Well. We joined that the other day.
Yeah, and Facebook, where we're going to be uploading all the clips from the podcast. So you'll be able to see me, Bobby, and you'll be able to see Owen on there as well from today's episode. But yeah, and we're also, very excitingly, being sponsored by a company called Elite Driver Jobs, which is basically a driver board, which is awesome, especially if you're a new pass driver like this episode is stating, because you can filter out jobs that where you'll be accepted as a new pass driver on their website. So make sure you're going over to Bobby's page or going over to the Elite Drivers Jobs page on TikTok and going through either bio and signing up to their driver board, whether you're looking for a job or not.
And even if, just to add on to that beautifully put point there, even if you sign up and there's not a job, the more people that sign up, the more jobs that'll be out there. So you're helping not just yourself, but you're helping everyone else when you're signing up. Just sign up. Even if you don't need a job right now, just go on there now and sign up. It will help everyone else, and it also help you in the future because you will get notifications about new jobs in your area once you've signed up, once they're available.
Exactly that. So let's see if we've got another little topic that we can go through here on my little sheet of wisdom that I have up here. So this is quite a good one. What is the worst bit of advice that you've ever been given, Bobby?
The worst bit of advice I've ever been given? Oh, that is a question and a half, that. Yeah, you've got me there.
You've had quite a few, mate. I've seen these posts that you've made.
The worst bit of advice? Why is it? You've thrown me there.
The worst bit of advice that I'll go first, and then you can have a little think whilst we're there. The worst bit of advice that I ever had was when I was on curtain cider work. And someone told me that because it's a curtain cider, I don't need to strap it down.
I was about to say that one.
And I was questioning it. I was like, really? I was like, what? So because it's a curtain side, I don't need to strap it down. And he went, yeah, as long as it's got weight bearing curtains, you don't need to strap down the load. So I was like, yeah, but surely not. Like that can't be true. So anyway, I got in my cab because this guy kind of made me feel like I had to believe what he said. You know, like because I'm a new bus driver and he's told me this, and I kind of felt like I had to believe him. So I got back in my cab. And I'm thinking, nah, like, so I start searching it up. I'm like, if I've got a weight bearing curtain on my trailer, do I not have to strap down my load? And the only time you don't have to do it is if it's under a certain weight and it's a true fit to the thing. So it has to be a true fit in the bed, can't shift anywhere, and it's under a certain weight. I can't remember off the top of my head what the weight was. But bearing in mind, I had barrels of honey on the back, and this guy was telling me not to strap it down. But thankfully, I did my research and then strapped it all down before I left. But yeah, that's probably the worst bit of advice I've ever been given from anybody on the road. And as a new pass driver, why is someone saying that? You know, these are the type of things we're trying to wipe out. Like, why is someone giving me advice? If they want to do that, hey, if they want to do that, that's absolutely up to them. But don't tell a new pass driver to do things like that.
I got told the same thing, and I know it's not weighty, but I had like loads of toilet roll on the back of ours, but it wasn't to the back of the trailer. Yeah. So I in my brain at the time, I didn't. He was like, "Do not strap it." I was like, "Okay." So I just put one down the back from the one side. Obviously, if you can do the back, cross strap it. Obviously, which I realise now. And I remember getting back into the yard, and I thought, well, I got told by an experienced driver to not strap it, and I just went with it, and then obviously wasn't. I wouldn't exactly say that they were standing by the time I got back. It was just listening to that, because I'd never done it before, and you think the experience of them. You go, oh, obviously if they've said that, you're gonna think, and I'm thinking, oh, it's so light, it's not gonna move, but it definitely does. So 100%, like we said earlier with Owen. You can never put too many straps on. Yeah, on something.
Yeah, that's always a bit of advice, and it's something that my company's like a big on. It's just like it's impossible. You can't overstrap something. You know, like if you're looking at your load, you know you've put the right amount of straps on. You know 100% you've put the right amount of straps on. If there's still something in your head saying I need to put another strap on, put another strap on.
Just do it.
You know, that's the bit of advice I'll give. You don't need to go to the weights and you know exactly what it says on your strap. If you're not happy with how your load looks and you don't think there's something that's quite safe about it, just put another strap on. Who cares what anyone thinks? There's a lot of drivers who'll judge you for overstrapping, and they'll have a little joke about you for overstrapping. Who cares? At least I ain't killed someone on my way down M1.
I still get laughed at now for overstrapping, but
I
literally,
get it. We overstrap all the time in this company.
I just had a Sam put in. I was once told to use just internal straps for a fully loaded IBC.
Oh my god! What can internals take? Internals 400. Like 400 kg. 400. I thought it was 400. Yeah, 400 kg in it for internal.
So what I've been told, 400 kg.
Yeah. Because the first time I asked, someone told me a ton, and I was like, a ton? I was like, there's no way that thing can hold a ton. Guys, if we are in here, make sure we put some questions in the comments, because if you've got any questions about anything, try to maybe stick to the subject, which is the industry for a new pass. If you've got any questions at all, though, please feel free to bang them in the comments. If you've also got advice for somebody that is a new pass, put that in the comments as well.
I've just had to be fair, I'm just going to put in a brief thing. I know I said it, I'll keep repeating myself with this, but I have a lot of people commenting about agency work. Personally, I think it's completely up to you on how you want to work, really. Agency suits me because I work when I want, and that's what I like, the flexibility of it. But the one thing I'll put out there, I've never experienced in my life not having work on agency, and that's the biggest thing that everyone always asks me. Oh, I'm scared about getting work. I'm scared I'm not going to have work. I've never, from my personal experience, never not had work on agency. And I was going to put that out there because I've had comments about it. that's just the overall thing. I've never had. Don't be scared of it. If you want to go on it, or you think it's the best way to get into it because you've applied for 100 jobs or whatever, best thing to do is just go on it. I've never struggled.
To be fair, I have heard of a few people who haven't had some work on agency, but to back up your point, I don't think these people were actively ringing up the agency and saying, "Have you got work for me tomorrow?" I feel like if you do that, you'd probably be sound.
Yeah, I applied for 3 in my area. The first one, I was pretty, I didn't really have much from. I had one day's work with them, and then I gave it with them because then the next people then rang me and said, "Look, we've got you a job," basically. And then I'd say most of them are temp to perm as well, but obviously I just said no, I don't want to do perm. I don't want to say go permanent. I want to stay on agency as a thing for me. But someone just put what the pros and cons of agency. That would probably be very deep to go into. There's a lot of different pros and cons of agency. I think it's whatever suits you. If you want a full-time job and you want to work Monday to Friday or 4 on 4 off, like Labsy does, get a full-time job. If the job's appealing. If not, if you want the flexibility, agency. I think flexibility, 100%.
This is probably another subject that we could do in the future, which would be like shift patterns and work-life balance.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe we could do that down the line in either the next or the pod after that. We have Dave is off. Dave, nice for you to come back in, mate. Do appreciate you popping in and watching basically the entire pod. Thank you very much, mate. And we'll
Cheers,
see you
Dave.
next one, I hope. Let's see if we've got any more on here. Unless you've got any questions in your comments, Bobby, please feel free to interrupt.
I'll have a look.
Well, this is quite a funny one, to be fair. This is quite a funny one.
Go for it.
I've written here, talk about a time when we were both new passes, about when we absolutely butchered a reverse.
Butchered a reverse?
Yeah.
I do that most days. I think
It still happens.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll tell you one story where I actually had like an incident. It wasn't like a full-blown crash or whatever. I remember I was on the phone to my mates. I don't know if Luke's in here, but Luke was on the phone to Luke, and I was driving, and he said to me, when you go to this place, it's a blindside reverse. I was in an urban trailer. He's like, blindside reverse into the place. He's like, whatever you do, the wall creeps up on you. He said, you'll think you've missed it. The wall creeps up on you. And I went, yeah. Like, you've told me I'm not gonna hit it. Because you kept telling me. You just constantly kept telling me. And I was in a rush. I was having a stressful day. And I was driving around. I started reversing back. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't know what he's on about with this wall. It's nowhere to be seen. Started reversing back. And I heard like a little clip. And I was like, what's that? And I pulled forward and got out. And I'd literally clipped the edge of the brick on this wall, because it went round and like came out towards the end, so it kind of like disappeared, and yeah, it was just an awkward wall. But that was probably, I can't express how many times he told me about this wall. He kept telling me about it, and I just thought, yeah, I just kind of ignored it. I was like, you stop telling me, because I'm not gonna forget you told me about this wall, mate. I'm not gonna hit it. And then
yeah, come on, mate. Who do you think you are?
What was yours?
Oh, mate. So mine, back at my old job, I was delivering a full load of clay duck shooters.
Shooters?
Duck. Clay duck shooters.
As in quack quack?
Yeah, but you're not actually shooting the duck, it's the clay. It's like the clay things, like clay pigeon shooter, but it was a clay duck shooter. I don't know what the difference is. Don't ask me what the difference is between a clay duck shooter and a clay pigeon shooter. I don't know. But
let's get into this.
It was a clay duck shooter. Hey up here, welcome on in, mate. We're good, mate. How are you? And anyway, so I was delivering this full load of clay duck shooters. And it was one of them yards where you drive in and you've got to reverse back out, because you're not turning around in there, mate. You're absolutely not turning around in there. And I'm coming back out, and I think this actually was in my first week of driving, actually, I'm pretty sure. And I kind of had to like reverse back and then like into somebody else's yard, and then out, and then back out forward. But on the way out, kind of like down here, so I'm driving in between these. There's cars parked either side, because they had you had to basically drive through their car park to get into their yard. Anyway, mate, it was one of these stupid general haulage jobs that got accepted last second. And guess what? I'm the one that has to go do it.
Of course.
And so yeah, I'm reversing back out, and I'm that focused on where the back end of my trailer is, because obviously I was a new pass, and you know, I wasn't quite sure what the hell I was doing. So I had no training whatsoever, other than my test. And reversing back, not really paying that much attention to where the front of my truck is, and yeah, I've gone out and then swung my cab out straight into everyone's parked cars in the car park, and I've took out.
You went into cars, like, took cars out.
I took out like 3 of the cars, yeah.
That was a lot of paperwork.
And that was in my first week of driving. But again, it's because the company didn't give me any training whatsoever, and they just said go here and do this, and I'm stressing about it, and then I'm that focused on trying to get the back end of the trailer out.
Yeah.
And this was a few years ago, bearing in mind. I'm not this bad anymore. All right, HGV1 Radio's laughing at me right now. But yeah, I'm not this bad anymore. But I basically just took the front end of the cars off. I took the grills out and everything, and then I was stood there, just like, oh no. I was like, oh no. Everyone who worked there started coming out, and I was like, oh no, this is the worst thing I've ever done in my life. I said, sorry lads, like I've been driving for
5 minutes,
literally a week. I've been driving a week. You're gonna have to let me off. Went through insurance. Everything got sorted in the end. But yeah, accidents happen, and we do learn from them. I'm a much better driver now because of that incident.
Oh, you definitely do. I had Seal Junior just put, did they give you training after that?
Did they give me training after that? No, they didn't.
Owen's on. Owen said he's off now. See you later, Owen. Thanks for
Owen, thank you for popping
Thanks for being on there.
But no, answering that question, did they give me training after? No, they didn't. They basically just, because the truck was absolutely fine. There was nothing wrong with the truck.
Yeah.
The truck took no damage whatsoever. So they basically just sent me to the next job. They literally got me to fill out a little bit. They got me to fill out a little bit of paperwork, and 20 minutes later, because they said, "Oh, go put." They said to me word by word, maybe, go pull up in a lay-by and just calm yourself down for a little bit, and you know, chill out for 45. 20 minutes into that, they rang me up. We've got a job for you around corner. And off I went again on next one. It was one of them types of companies where I were a new pass, and I got, and then that were it. You know, they just kind of sent me wherever and didn't really care about me or like actually developing my skills or anything like that. But yeah, I do want to emphasise, I am better than that now. I'm not a bad driver anymore.
The thing is, I think in like the haulage industry, though, everyone knows you live and you learn.
Yeah,
complete. I'm getting absolutely baited out here by my father-in-law, so I'm not going to answer your question.
What's he saying? Let's hear it.
No, he said, "Do you have any advice about driving in snow?"
Oh, go on, mate. Give us your advice. I'm guessing you've been stuck.
No. It was the day before the wedding. It was like heaving with snow, and I couldn't get to basically in the car for the little mini pre-drinks before the day. And I'm being baited out for it. And then Spud's in here as well. You still can't drive in the snow, because I had to pick him up as well. What labs he left out that this was 3 weeks ago.
Oh, right. Oh, no. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Yeah. I left that little bit out. The thing is, mate, that genuinely, I have got better. Like now, I only hit 2 cars instead of 3.
I've only hit 1 this time.
And I'm hoping next year I can get down to just 1. What's happened there?
My camera's gone. Wait, I'm back now.
Yeah, I'm hoping next year I can get down to just 1 car a week. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to rip and dip now, mate. It's my tea time and I need to go to bed.
Yeah, that's it. We've been on an hour and a half, haven't it?
I think that's been an awesome episode again. But today we have had 1 more question from HGV1, and I think we can answer 1 more question, why not? Do you think starting in a smaller company is more beneficial for gaining experience? My personal answer to that question is no, I don't. Because I worked at a family-run company for my first company, and they gave me no training whatsoever. And bearing in mind, I'm answering this question off personal experience. Every family-run company is going to be different. So no training there whatsoever. I'm now at a much larger company that has 200 plus drivers, and my training here was a week in the training room and then 3 weeks with an on-road mentor who basically trains you with everything to do with the trucking, how to drive the trucks, how to drive the flatbeds, how to strap everything down. They also gave us a big booklet full of every single load that we do and how to strap it down safely. And I got none of that at the small company that I worked for. So I would personally say, if you're wanting to gain experience and you're wanting to do it the right way and you're wanting a little bit of training, the bigger companies are probably the way to go, personally.
I agree with that, everything you just said. And that's absolutely spot on. I believe when I worked for a bigger company, this whole topic, I'm glad you've said this, it's led on to next week's podcast, which is exactly what this will be on about. Will be the training. We're going to have someone on who's knows all the training and stuff when it comes to lorry driving. So he's going to speak about all the things when it comes to training in lorry driving, which is meant how you left it with that.
Which is perfect time. So HGV1 Radio, come back to find the real answer next week.
It's all about the training. So I won't go into it too deep.
Is that Luke? Is that Luke?
Yeah, it's Luke.
Yeah.
I don't think he's in tonight, but
Is it not?
I haven't seen from him. Also,
cool guys.
Just quick before we go, every Wednesday, 7 p.m, we do the trucker unload, which we didn't just do it last week for the mental health week. This is a weekly thing we're going to do. So every Wednesday, 7 p.m, join us back here where we're all going to unload our thoughts and feelings for the week. Or however, if you've just joined in, you can unload your thoughts and feelings for how long you've been having these sorts of feelings for. But it's just a space where we can all chat, have a laugh. It hasn't got to be all serious and, all a bit deep. But we can have those deep conversations if you want to, but have a laugh, share your thoughts and feelings on your week. And that'd be 7 p.m. Wednesday, every Wednesday, which is the Trucking Truth Unload.
Yeah, awesome, mate. Well, appreciate everybody popping in here. Do just want to say before we go, if you could follow me and you could follow Bobby, that would be absolutely awesome. We do this every single Sunday. We're going to be bringing on a different guest every single Sunday from the haulage industry. So if you are wanting to come on the podcast next week, the week after, well, it won't be next week actually, but within the next few weeks, you wanting to come on the podcast, don't be afraid to message me or message Bobby and we'll get you in the lineup. You can come on about whatever you want to talk about, all right? Anything you want to talk about the industry, let us know, and that's what we will do. But appreciate you popping in, guys. This is the Trucking Truth. Follow me, follow Bobby, go to the Trucking Truth on any of the socials and follow them as well, because all the clips from what you have missed will be posted onto there. I want to say a big thank you again to our sponsor, which is Elite Driver Jobs. If you are looking for your next job, then please go over to Elite Driver Jobs on TikTok or get to their page through Bobby's link in his bio and sign up to their driver's job board, especially if you're a new pass driver as well. There is a filter on there for you to filter out jobs so that you're applying to a job where they accept new pass drivers. I think it is actually the only job board that does that. Yeah, awesome. So big thank you from me, and I'm sure a big thank you from our Bobby over there as well.
Thank
and again, we'll see you next Sunday at 7 p.m. again.
Absolutely.
Cheers, guys.
Oh, see you Wednesday.
Oh,
see
Wednesday.
You Wednesday.
So we'll see you Wednesday for the Trucking Truth Unload.
Spot on. Have a good weekend. See you later.
Cheers for popping in, guys. Bye.